let's take a look at GBP now. GBP has been creating series of higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows up until it reversed to this point here. Taking the overall move, let's take a look at the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, you'll see that price have been breaking the previous highs, creating a new high up until it reversed at 26.7. At 1 is to 26.717. So the strategy behind the ICT strategy is to locate where price will grab the liquidity before taking our direction. As you can see here, I identify the previous low, the lowest low before price rallies high. This is my low, and here was my break of structure here, hoping for price to come back here and reverse there, because this was my previous low here. I'm not looking at the overall trend. I'm not looking at this trend here that the price will eventually go down. No, I'm looking at the highs. I want to see price break the highs, creating a new highs. If price breaks this low here, I know eventually that price will go back high, retrace this, will eventually go high and take profit on this level before continuing moving back to the downside. So this money concept helps you to spot the liquidity within the market. Here we have a higher high, our highest high, then going down back to the 4-hour chart there. Going back at the 4-hour chart, I can identify my point of interest, I have a break of structure here, failed to retest here, going down, another break of structure here. Okay, let me just do another break of structure here with a point of interest above this. I call it my point of interest with a break of structure. With my break of structure here and the equal lows. And the equal lows. I'm not marking on my previous break of structures, I'm just marking here. That's why I say GBPUSD is a game of fake out. It's a game of manipulation. Look how price manipulate here, faking this move to the downside before coming back to the upside. So on the yesterday trade, I want us to look on the yesterday's trade. How did we spot a buy on GBPUSD? Okay, looking even further at the histories here, you will see that we have equal lows here, having equal lows here, another one. So here, whereby a price break the previous resistance, coming back to retest it before going back to the upside. Okay, remember that when we want to find the order blocks, we have to find the order block that is closely at the support level or resistance level, which we call our key zones. So I had another bullish order block here, waiting over here. This was my order block here with a stop loss about below this low, which was supposed to be my approximately 30 to 35 pips, which is 30 pips stop loss below this zone. Okay, let's see how did price play out. Okay, before looking at how did price play out, let me go to the lower time frame to show you how to get in trade. How do you spot that price will change direction? Eventually, looking at here, price break out of structure, creating its low here, retesting for the previous lower high there, which result in a pricing in the movement to the downside. So what I want you to understand is that before getting into this trade, you have to know that GBPUSD will manipulate price before moving in our direction. As we can play this, we had our trade being placed here with a stop loss that is eventually here. This is what really happened here. Price reversing below my lower lows here, resulting in a fake out being formed here, attempting to sell, grabbing the liquidity before moving in our direction here. Then moving in our direction there, price breaks out of structure, price break out of structure. Then look at this low here, price break out of structure. We are expecting a retracement below this zone here. This is my point of interest. I have my point of interest here. This is my break of structure here. I have my break of structure here and my point of interest here. Meaning that I'm willing to see price rallies higher from this level up until this level before moving back to the downside. Before eventually moving back to the downside, because the overall trade here is a downward movement. We are hoping to move to the downside. Why do I say we are hoping to move to the downside? Price break out of structure here, moving back to retrace, to retest our lows. Look how price moved, retrace, moved again up until it came break out of structure, retrace before going back to the upside. This is how we spotted this move on GBPUSD using the smart money concept. Let's look at the USD JPY. I'm going to take it to the 4-hour chart. You have to move from lower time frame to a higher time frame. Okay guys, here, okay, let me show you another one here. I had my previous high there, and my lowest low there. These are my highs and lows here. This is my high and that is my low there. Okay, we are looking at the price creating higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Look at the impulsive move to the high, coming back to this low, then retracing back to the upside. Okay, let me pull up the trend line here. As soon as I pull out the trend line, you can see that price is respecting this trend line here, is respecting this trend line, but you can see that you've been missing these moves here because price didn't touch this trend line at all. So you're missing this trade to the upside, coming back to retrace, failing to come here again, moving back to the upside. And if you pull another trend inside this trend, you will see that eventual price doesn't do what you have been waiting for price to do. So using a smart money concept, you will see that price break this highs here. This is a break of structure because it went for a pullback here. We are willing to see price maybe moving again back here to retrace, then move back to the downside. Okay, let's take this week here that has created this high. Look at its pullback here, its pullback ended here, attempting to go for a buy, then break another structure here. Then we have our loss here. The difference is that price moved up, then came back here, break out of structure here. You have to know that which point of interest is most important. Look at your high here where we drawn this horizontal line there. Its pullbacks ended here, then price attempted to buy. Impulsively price break that level here. So for a bullish momentum, you have to know that if you are on an uptrend, you have to know that your point of interest before you have to know your points of interest, then your big break of structure. You have to know how to use them. Don't look at this move. This move was created long before you can even have this trade, because you're gonna draw this previous high, wait for price to pull back. By that time it will be your only high. Wait for price to come back here, then come and break out of structure, then retracing back. After price break out of the structure, forming a single break candlestick, you have to pull out your point of interest. And then this time I had my point of interest here. This is my point of interest and my break of structure here. My break of structure and my point of interest here. Then price moved again back to the upside, creating another high here, and pullback. After this high was created, then pullback was formed. You have to look at your break of structure here. You have to look at your break of structure here and then identify the previous low. And this time my previous low was exactly here, whereby price came back again to retest my previous low here. This means this line remains my point of interest. For now, this line remains my point of interest. Price break out of structure, coming back to retest this low. then rallies back again high. Look at this price. It came back attempting to move to the upside, then came back again. As it goes back again, you have to identify your previous high so that you can see your break of structure there. Break of structure, then we have to find a pullback. Then eventually it pullback happened above our break of structure there. Breakout and a retest, straight moving to the upside. Then using the ICT strategy, you will eventually see that price has breaked our previous high here. You see that price breaked our previous high here. Then what I want to see, as you can see, price have been breaking above the structure, then tracing above the structure. I'm willing to see price break above the structure, maybe trace above the structure, or come to my point of interest here. This remains my point of interest here. Willing to see price coming back to this level before going back to the upside. Before going back to the upside. Therefore, we had our entry here with a stop loss below our point of interest. With our peak profit level here, then we wanted to see how did price play out. Then price came back, testing, then moved in our direction. This is a forecasting that I did yesterday using the smart money concept to see that using the smart money concept and the technical analysis, how will I execute more trades on one of that powerful strategy. Okay, using a technical analysis, you will see that price have been retesting this level, but failing to get this point of interest here because this trend line was very far. Another one is here, point of interest here. Then here you can confirm by a trend line that price will rally high here. Now I want to show you an example. When price move, it goes down, creating a new low, coming back high, creating a new high, then breaking out of structure, creating a new low. I have a break out of structure here. Let me use a rectangle. This is my break of structure. With my point of interest here. With my point of interest here. The strategy behind the SMC strategy is that if price move in this manner, coming back to create a lower high here, then breaking out of structure, you can see that there's a huge move here that the banks made without balancing the price. There's a huge imbalance of price here. This is an imbalance. So whenever you see the imbalance on the market, just know that eventually price will come back, retrace, moving back to retrace to our point of interest here, closing the gap, then moving back to the downside.